Hello, and welcome to Columbia Insights Creative Clash. I'm your host, Katie Berg. Today, we have a Columbia student who has a passion for acting. Here to perform a monologue from Bright Apple Crush is Zac Buntin. Take it away, Zac.
He is, well, was, the absolute love of my life. Just a few months after dating, the best kind of dating, the sweet, hot, can't be without each other kind of dating, we decided to move in together. Big decision to live together, but it felt right, so I asked him and he said yes. The second night after he moved in, I spilled a bottle of wine. It was just careless. He hit me so hard that I blacked out. Square in the jaw, just a sharp pain, and then nothing. When I woke up, he was asleep, and I wasn't even sure if it even happened. So I cleaned up the wine. That started to happen a lot. Not the spilling. That's was okay for a while. 'Cause he was the first person that I had ever loved. I mean, he was everything. And you're supposed to take the good with the bad. That's just how it works. Eventually, it got to the point where I stopped flinching. I didn't even try to avoid it. I mean, he seemed to understand, so I just accepted it. But then last night was different somehow. I didn't feel anything when he hit me, and I did not fall down. And I was aware that my body was moving on some kind of level, but it was like watching a movie, but like right up against a screen, so all the images don't really make sense, and it's all still kind of a blur to me. I mean, it seemed so simple. I looked down, and somehow he was the one on the floor. And there was blood. And I kept bringing my foot down on his neck and face, and I remember thinking that this shouldn't be happening and not having any control over it. At one point, I didn't even recognize him anymore. I don't even know how to explain it. I could never really put it into words, Love can make you do crazy things where you don't think straight. I mean, you never really think of yourself as when it was over, I didn't really know what to do. I took my boots off because, I did not want to be in those. And I took my clothes off and I put them in the washing machine, and then I came back into the living room and, he was still moving. So I picked up my boots and I put them in the bathtub, and just after a few minutes, the water was red and soapy, but the boots were clean. And then I drained the tub, and then I took a shower, and then I cleaned it with bleach, and then I took my clothes out of the washer and I put them in the dryer, and I threw the boots in, and then I came back into the living room, and he was still moving a little. Breathing. Trying to breathe. At one point, he reached out towards me. And I started to sob uncontrollably. When my clothes were done, I put them back on, and I even put my boots back on, and I called the police and I asked them for an ambulance. I had told them that I was out with friends and came home and found him like this. I held his hand and I rode with him in the ambulance and I waited for him through surgery. I don't know what I'll do when he wakes up and he can tell people what happened. When he can tell people what I did to him. And now I sit here, alone, and wait.
Wow, what a chilling performance, Zac. Thank you so much. We're going to take a short break to hear a quick word from our sponsors. Before that, I just want to remind you at home that you can ask Zac questions by tweeting any questions or comments you have to @CreativeClash, and we might use your tweet on the show. When we come back, we will sit Zac down and ask him a few of our own questions. Don't click away. Welcome back to Creative Clash. If you like Zac's performance, be sure to vote for him at tinyurl.com/vote creativeclash after the show. He can't win without your vote. Now that we have seen what he can do, we can ask him all about his amazing talents. So Zac, can you tell me a little bit about that, the play that you performed that monologue from?
Yeah, the name of the play is Bright Apple Crush, and it's basically just 3 monologues intertwined, telling the stories of 3 everyday people that have reached a point in their life where they snap and they go crazy. And the whole point of the play is that everybody has a bit of crazy in them.
Yeah, I loved it. It was very chilling. I loved that performance. I want to see the play now. What made you choose to perform that today?
I chose to perform that piece because I would like to be in horror films and films like that. And I believe that's one of my strongest genres. So I thought I'd pick a piece like that and bring it on the show.
Nice. And when did you start acting?
I started acting in the 2nd grade, actually, in a play called I Need a Vacation.
That's a good title.
It was through my elementary school. They wrote like original shows for the school, and then all of the kids would put on the show.
Okay, so it was just kind of like a school play, and that's how you kind of just fell into it, right?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you still had to audition for it, so not everyone was in it, but it was through the elementary school.
Okay. And were there any actors or actresses growing up who really inspired you to pursue your dream?
Yes, I would say someone that's always inspired me. I think I have 2. The first one is definitely Meryl Streep. Fantastic actress, so phenomenal. Just watching her play such contrasting characters in all of her movies, and just the way she reacts to the environment around her. It's so phenomenal to just watch her. Her and Heath Ledger are 2 of my favorite actors.
I do love me some Heath.
Yes.
Where can you see yourself in 5 years? What are you planning?
In 5 years, I will be, not a question, I have to be, I will be living in Los Angeles. I'm moving there right from Columbia, right after college. I'm moving out there because that's where the film industry is. New York's kind of more Broadway and theater, and then film's all in California.
And where are you from again?
I'm from Indiana.
Okay, and what brought you to Columbia?
It was far, but just far enough, like not too far from home. And it had both of the things that I wanted to study and that I want to pursue in life. I had acting, and they have a good acting program. I love it so far. And they have an amazing fashion program. And there were not a lot of schools that offered both of those. And not a lot of schools that offered both of those and had such fantastic programs for them.
Right.
So, plus living in Chicago, there's so many opportunities here.
Right. You like the city life compared to Indiana?
Absolutely. So the city's not foreign to me because I lived so close, but at the same time, it's so nice to live and stay here and just experience the city.
Right. And what steps are you taking to pursue your dream here?
Well, right now I'm in The Tempest, and that's a main stage show. The next main stage show here, it's going to be in the Ghents, November 12th through the 22nd. I hope I got that right.
Gotta get that correct.
Yes. But it's so cool to just watch everyone in there and like learn from them all. It's so awesome.
Well, I'll need to check that out. Okay, well, thank you for asking my questions. And I believe Twitter is blowing up over here. So now let's go to our social media producer, Ryan. What do we got out there, Ryan? Any questions?
Thank you. We have a lot of feedback for Zac. Victoria at Miss Daggerton would like to know, how many roles have you played and which one has been your favorite?
I think I've lost track of how many roles that I've played because I've done at least 2 shows a year since middle school. So
that's a lot of shows.
Do the math, that's a lot. Right. But I think my favorite role that I've ever played would be Robin Hood. And I did that my senior year of high school, and it involved a very tight pair of forest green jeggings. But it was so fun. The character's so funny, and there's so much to do with it, and it was a good time.
That's much different than your original genre of horror, though, right?
Yes, it is.
What else we got out there, Ryan?
Robin at RobinHood96 would like to know, what is a movie within the last decade that you wish you could have been in, and what role?
Ooh, such a good question. Probably any horror film I would have liked to be in. A film that I absolutely love is American Psycho. That movie is fantastic. I want to play a character like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to be the one that survives at the end or one of the people who's fighting for their lives. I want to be one of the people who's insane and is like going around killing people.
And how do you prepare to get into that character of a killer?
Well, I try to pull different emotions and different events in my life and think about how I can portray that into my character. I've never killed anybody. No, not you know of. But like in that piece that I just did, there was a part where he was heartbroken because this person that he loved just beat him, and him trying to cope with that. So I've tried to pull from moments in my life where I was super hurt by someone that I extremely cared about, and when I rehearse pieces as deep as this, I have to like seclude myself from everything, and I go in a dark room and I'm in there for like hours.
It's dedication.
Yeah.
What else we got out there, Ryan?
Eddie at Eddie Z Blinds would like to know, do you have any other interests besides acting?
I do. Like I said, I'm a fashion minor, and I'm very, very into fashion. So eventually, who knows, I could open my own fashion store, or if I'm famous, I could have a fashion line.
All right. Well, we'll be looking out for you. Thank you so much, Zac.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for this episode. But thank you to everyone who tweeted us questions, and of course, a special thanks to Zac Buntin for performing for us today. If you want him to win Creative Clash, vote for him at tinyurl.com/vote creativeclash. He needs your vote to win. Tune in this afternoon at 4 p.m. for another installment of Creative Clash, and tune in for our final show next week at the same time. Until then, I'm your host, Katie Berg. I hope to see you next week. Awesome. Thank you so much.